Now on CoastTV News.
Ocean City assessment shock. Property values in Ocean City have soared, pushing over $4 billion. How this dramatic increase could hit your wallet and shake up local real estate. Rehoboth's dining revolution, a potential transformation for Rehoboth Avenue. The Summer House Eyes expansion. How a new garden oasis could redefine dining in the town, reflecting pandemic-era changes in outdoor seating. Milton's housing challenge. Milton tackles the pressing issue of affordable housing, the new committee's strategy to address this and what it means for the town's future. Milford's MLK tribute, celebrating MLK's legacy in Milford, the power of Reverend John Moore's reenactments of MLK's speeches, and understand their enduring impact on our community.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Rising tax burden. As property values are reassessed, the bills for homeowners are skyrocketing. Good evening. I'm Mallory Metzner.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with property assessments in Ocean City.
New tonight, the new assessed value of real property in the resort town is more than locals expected. And as Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe tells us, that means the tax bills are too.
$4 billion. That's how much the value of real property in Ocean City has gone up since just 2021, according to the State Assessment Office. For a little simple math, if your house used to be valued at $100,000, it's now valued at around $125,000. But that means your property taxes are also going up. In our simple example, it would cost an owner an extra $115. Unsurprisingly, not exactly a popular change.
And I've been here for years, and I'm not looking forward to that. So I hope they stay the same or they can lower it.
We bought property in Ocean City probably about 3 years ago. It was a great deal at the time. Since then, we kind of got the double whammy. I just got the assessment on Monday, and our taxes will almost double. And that's on top of the condo reserve fund that also doubled. So it's kind of a hit.
To be clear, it's not that tax rates are going up. Homes, buildings, and what's called real property have just increased in value based on the market and the new assessment accounts that increase when determining an owner's tax burden. Homes and commercial properties in Ocean City won't be reassessed until another 3 years, but Berlin and Ocean Pines will be appraised this year. I'm Kevin Zappe with Coast TV News.
Now on to the Sussex County area. Starting mid-January, expect to see Tyler Technologies data collectors in Milford, Ellendale, Slaughter Beach, and nearby areas for a county-wide reassessment. According to the company, the collectors are identifiable by their yellow vests, Sussex County IDs, and marked cars. They'll be documenting property details externally, working weekdays 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and they won't request indoor access. The company says they're gathering exterior measurements and details like the number of bedrooms, types of heating systems, and construction materials.
Get your phone ready. This brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how do increased property value assessments affect you? Let's take a look at the results that are updated from the last news hour.
Looking at the screen, this has gone up even more. Pay more taxes. That vote is up to 91% right now. Not a lot of votes for the other options, which is sell your property or seek reassessment.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, you still can on CoastTVNews.com or use our Coast TV mobile app, and we'll show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11. New in Milton, a committee is looking to explore options for affordable housing. Live in Milton is Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert. Charles, people in town today said it's an issue that needs to be solved.
Charlie, people told me today that the lack of affordable housing options is not only an issue here in Milton, but all along our coast here in Sussex County and around the country as well. Now, this is an ad hoc committee. It's made up of neighbors and of town officials. It's looking to address the concerns for a lack of affordable places to stay here in Milton and come up with possible solutions. Now, it is important to note that any solutions the committee comes up with would have to go through town council. Now, one neighbor told Coast TV today that this is a great step in trying to address this issue here in Milton.
We need more affordable options. Rents are really expensive around here. Home owning's really expensive. It seems like there's a lot of development, and I would like to encourage people to look into proper kind of development where people have housing that they can afford.
According to the mayor of Milton, the goal of this group isn't to create subsidized housing here in town. Now, this committee was just formed this week, so it hasn't met quite yet, but we'll be sure to follow along and keep you updated on anything this committee discusses. I'm Charles Reiner, live in Milton, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. Some locals would call the corner property on Rehoboth Avenue an iconic spot in Rehoboth Beach. A mixed-use property was proposed for the location, which would include an upscale hotel above the existing retail space on the boardwalk level. The Rehoboth Beach Planning Commission held a preliminary review of the property plans earlier today, and people are divided here. One local told Coast TV she was originally against the plans, but she thinks the property could use a facelift.
But then a friend and I were actually talking about it yesterday, and he reminded me that in the late 1800s there were hotels in these locations. So now I've changed my mind and I'm thinking, oh, well, restore it to how it was originally would be great.
The commission will continue that discussion in February when more documentation from FEMA is obtained.
The town of Dewey Beach wants to alert homeowners and visitors about a possible upcoming coastal storm that is approaching. The town says while businesses are open, they are expecting extremely high winds and flooding from the bayside. Officials say avoid parking cars close to the bay and try for areas closer to the coastal highway whenever that's possible. They say to secure any outdoor furniture, grills, other equipment, and use extreme caution when accessing the ocean beach. Now, talking about weather, let's take a live look outside as we take a view into Lewis, and our first alert meteorologist Alex Seymour joins us with a look at what we're in for this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a lot of messy weather on the way for the overnight hours tonight. We are seeing that rain, that wind just knocking on our doorstep. So conditions are going to deteriorate pretty rapidly throughout the evening hours. Right now, as I take a live look out on our Irish Eyes camera, overlooking the Lewis Canal, looking out towards the lightship overfalls. You can see the flag on the overfalls is actually whipping in the wind. We're already seeing winds gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. Temps sitting right around 47 degrees. Just cloudy out there right now, but rain is starting to move in. Light rain moving into western Sussex County. That is going to start to overspread the region as we head throughout the next couple of hours. A lot of rain off to our west-southwest, and that is all going to move through the area. So heavy rain, strong gusty winds expected. We can see that rain overspread in all of Delmarva by about 8 p.m. and then that rain gets quite heavy throughout the overnight hours. We could be talking about over an inch of rain, but until then, we're going to stay dry. Temps in the 40s. Winds just now picking up, gusting 15-20 miles per hour. We're going to see wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour overnight, so be prepared for power outage and be prepared for some flooded roadways as we head towards Saturday morning.
Alex, the Bethany Beach Town Council met today to discuss the pending offshore wind farm project proposed by U.S. Wind. Council members heard remarks from a U.S. Wind spokesperson, and people in the town voiced their opinions on the renewable energy overhaul. According to the plan, there would be as many as 114 total wind turbines, with each of them reaching between 817 and 938 feet in height. A power substation would also be located in Dagsboro. The mayor and town council held off on voting on this proposal for the time being.
The Summer House restaurant on Rehoboth Avenue is looking to expand. The restaurant is looking to take over the vacant lot next door and turn that into a patio space with a fountain. Today, the Rehoboth Beach Planning Commission agreed to move forward with the plans after the preliminary public hearing was held for the consultation. If the project is approved, it will give the restaurant the opportunity to have an outdoor space for seating for guests during the warmer months.
Coming up this Thursday, Governor John Carney is set to deliver his 2024 State of the State address at 2 p.m. from the House of Representatives chamber in Legislative Hall. Then the following week, on January 25th, Governor Carney will present his fiscal year 2025 budget proposal at the Delaware Public Archives building. Both events will be live streamed for public viewing.
Delaware is moving forward with a new medical marijuana law, House Bill 285. The bill simplifies getting a medical marijuana card. According to the bill, patients no longer need to prove a serious medical condition, and older residents can get their cards more easily. The bill also recognizes out-of-state marijuana cards. It passed the Health Committee on Wednesday and awaits its final reading.
Delaware lawmakers are focusing on safety in schools and parks. They're considering a new bill to update laws on weapons. This follows changes made last year to how these offenses are treated. The bill, which the House has already approved, would allow certain retired police officers to have guns in schools for security. It's now up to the Senate's Executive Committee to review this proposal aimed at increasing public safety.
A bit of good news. Last year, Delaware saw a significant drop in deadly road accidents. According to DelDOT's study, deadly road accidents decreased by 16% in 2023. The reduction was across all types of transportation, including pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists. A safety summit is scheduled for April 17th to discuss further strategies for reducing road accidents and deaths. As of now, there have been 3 deadly accidents in Delaware just this year.
Remembering Martin Luther King Jr. through his powerful words, the Milford Museum will be hosting Reverend Dr. John Moore Saturday as he presents the speeches that brought people to fight racial inequality together 55 years ago. As Coast TV's Tori Seagrave shows us, the civil rights leader had a major effect on the Milford community.
Oh, let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire.
While this man may sound an awful lot like Martin Luther King Jr., he is actually an impersonator. Reverend Dr. John Moore has reiterated the strong words of the activist for almost 30 years, everywhere from here in Delaware to Korea.
He talked about making sure that you supported the justice movement so that we can make sure that our country was the best that it could be. So I got ignited by that. So I wanted to be a part of that. And so now, as I do these speeches, I take them to every place that I can in order to be able to keep his legacy alive, because I feel like that's what my calling is right now.
And Moore is even more like MLK than his voice. He's also a pastor, and King is his fraternity brother. According to Tom Summers at the Milford Museum, King's effect on the Milford community alone has rippled in the last 55 years.
Well, some of the ways that we see now is Milford was basically a southern town where there was segregation. That has obviously changed. Our mayor now is African American. There have been other changes which have taken place within the government and within the society here in Milford, and that's very important.
Continuing to remember the legacy that ended in racial equality.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We're free at last.
The Milford Museum's presentation on the life of Martin Luther King Jr. and more of Reverend John Moore's impersonations will take place tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the Milford Public Library. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milford, Coast TV News.
We are just getting started this evening. Get involved in acknowledging the extraordinary women of Delaware. Learn about the awards that celebrate their enduring influence and legacy.
A very stormy night on the way to the coast. I'll be tracking the wet weather coming up in just a few minutes.
Celebrating a civil rights hero and all that coastal Delmarva has to offer. Stay tuned for the cool things to do this weekend.
From the ground, your roof may appear to be in good condition, but what's really going on up there? At Precision Exteriors, we use cutting-edge drone technology to conduct a free 21-point roof inspection, detailing what's good or not so good about your roof. Got storm damage? We are experts working with insurance companies to quickly repair any damage.
I highly recommend Precision Exteriors. They've done 3 roofs for us and done an excellent job.
Measure twice, cut once, and always do it with precision. Precision Exteriors.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew is a good crew. Really fine people are professional and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
It's another winter weekend on the coast, but there's never a shortage of cool things to do, not even in the off-season. Coast TV News anchor Mallory Metzner highlights the annual celebration and shows us the prizes up for grabs at some of the events.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and there are lots of ways to honor the civil rights hero. One event doubles as a celebration of rhythm and blues. Music, history tours, and commemorative speakers will all fill the Ocean City Convention Center for the second inaugural Dream Fest. Meanwhile, the Art League of Ocean City's free Community Dream Fest celebration will be a youth art showcase of work by local school children, along with hip-hop performances and a short film showcase. Dazzling ice sculptures can be found in downtown Cambridge this Saturday for the Ice and Oyster Festival. Organizers say sculptures will be on the fairgrounds and in front of businesses. Local bartenders are going into the wild in Bethany Beach. The annual Fire and Ice Festival kicks off with a drink competition at Mango's. Attendees will vote for their favorite to crown the People's Choice Award winner. Proceeds go toward BB Healthcare's South Coastal Emergency Department and Cancer Center. The event takes place this Sunday from 12 to 3. Right now, you could enter to win a free VIP parking pass in Bethany Beach by entering a photo contest. The town says it's looking for photos of unique landmarks that show why people are drawn to the resort town. Winners selected will be printed in the Bethany Beach calendar next year. The photo with the most unique votes gets a free parking pass at any space within town limits during this coming parking season. We have details to apply on CoastTV.com. Bite into bliss in Berlin. Restaurant Week is underway. Dine out and explore this culinary odyssey through January 18th. Dine at 3 participating restaurants or more for the chance to win gift cards and $100. On Sunday, the Cape and Lopen Elks Lodge number 2540 is inviting kids 8 to 13 years old to a free-throwing basketball event at the Factory in Lewis. Those who make the most out of 25 throws in each age group will win a basketball and advance to regional, state, and national competitions. Pre-registration is not necessary. For those who have a 3-day weekend, there are volunteer opportunities for Martin Luther King Day as a day of service. The Brandywine Valley SPCA has registration open to come help out with its pets on Monday.
Right now at Ashley, get 0% interest for 60 months on select best-selling mattresses. And visit your local Ashley store to experience our test rest and learn about savings options throughout the store with qualifying mattress purchases. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com today.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house at each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
Open 6 days a week with convenient hours. Call and schedule your appointment today.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, the happy place will hit you up.
Oh my goodness! Jennifer, what is up?
And Kaylee Cuoco is doing it all.
You on the roll, honey.
Monday at 2 on Coast TV.
Every Friday is Fan Friday.
Wow.
Cash and prizes could be up for grabs. Watch to find out what you could win.
Friday at 7 on Coast TV.
Right now at Ashley, get 0% interest for 60 months on select best-selling mattresses. And visit your local Ashley store to experience our test rest and learn about savings options throughout the store with qualifying mattress purchases. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com today.
Trying to quit tobacco is frustrating. You feel lost. You've tried several times, yet everywhere you turn, there are triggers pulling you back in. But there is a way out. The Delaware Quit Line. We can help get you on a path to living tobacco-free with free counseling, cessation aids, and medications. Let us help you quit for good.
Coast TV and the First Alert Weather Team. Your safety, our commitment.
Stormy weather quickly approaching the region this evening. We have a lot of watches, warnings, and advisories out across Delmarva this evening. This goes through Saturday morning. High wind warning in effect for coastal Sussex counties. That includes Rehoboth Beach, Lewis, Dewey Beach, Fenwick Island, Bethany Beach. We're talking about winds gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour. Power outages certainly expected with the strong wind overnight. Wind advisories in effect for all of Sussex County, Wycomico County, Worcester County. We've got coastal flood warnings in effect for the Chesapeake Bay, and then we have coastal flood advisories in effect for the Atlantic-facing beaches and Delaware Bay-facing beaches for minor to close to moderate coastal flooding for the next couple of high tides. Also, storm warnings in effect for the Atlantic off of Sussex County. That also includes those inland bays. We're going to be talking about wave heights of 10 feet tonight, so more beach erosion expected. So a lot of impacts on the way, and it's going to be deteriorating pretty quickly over the next couple of hours. Right now, as I take a live look out on our Bay Health Kent campus camera in Dover, cloudy skies, they're already here. Rain's not here, but that's going to be quickly approaching over the next couple of hours. We can see it on our live radar. First band of some very light rain, more sprinkles are starting to push into the region right now. But as we pull out to a wider view, we can see some much heavier rainfall just off to our south and west, moving through Richmond, moving through that I-95 corridor. That is going to be moving on to Delmarva within the next hour to 2 hours. By 8 p.m., we're going to be talking about widespread wet weather across the region. That rain is going to be quite heavy throughout the overnight hours. So don't be surprised to be woken up by those downpours beating on your window, and then also the howling winds that we're going to be hearing outside. Rain doesn't really clear out of the area until late tonight. Temperature-wise, we're actually going to warm up into the 60s overnight tonight. We'll be in the mid-50s as temps start to fall Saturday morning, and then they continue to tumble throughout Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, we're going to be dry, but it's going to be pretty chilly. Temps falling down into the mid-40s and the wind chills in the 30s. And then looking ahead to Sunday, we got the chance of maybe some flurries passing through the region, or at least rain showers passing through the region. That's as an Arctic front passes through the area, bringing some very cold air into the area by next week, and maybe a couple more snow chances. Rainfall totals overnight, 1 to 2 inches across the region, certainly looking possible. So ponding of water on roadways is expected. So if you are heading out, maybe traveling during the overnight hours, be aware you're going to run into some flooded roadways. So keep that in mind. You want to avoid all of those. And also the wind's going to become quite gusty. Wind gusts out of the east-southeast, 35 to 40 miles per hour by 9 p.m., but they go up even higher during the overnight hours. Take a look at that. Wind gusts around 54 miles per hour in Millsboro, 55 miles per hour in Ocean City. So widespread areas of 45 to 55 mile per hour gusts, with some gusts even as high as 60 miles per hour. So be aware of that. We could be dealing with some power outages overnight. So don't be surprised to wake up and not have power in the morning. We'll have to keep that in mind. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling, 7-day forecast. Here we go. We do dry out on Saturday, temps around 56. That's the morning high. We fall into the 40s during the afternoon hours. Snow showers possible on Sunday. More rain and snow possible Tuesday and again on Wednesday. And it gets very cold all of next week.
In there, Alex. The city of Seaford has an election. It's coming up on April 20th. The city election will take place from 7 to 3 p.m. According to the city, there are 2 council seats open and the mayor's seat. If you have any interest or questions, call City Hall.
In Delaware, nominations are open for the 2024 Delaware Women's Hall of Fame and She's on Her Way Award. You can nominate outstanding women who have contributed to Delawareans until March 28th. The Hall of Fame honors remarkable women, and the She's on Her Way Award recognizes young leaders. Both award forms are available online. We'll be right back.
30 years ago, a historic ice storm knocked out power for 10 days. Trees fell across power lines and ice snapped utility poles. Our Delaware Electric Cooperative team worked around the clock to help those we serve. 3 decades later, we've applied the lessons we learned during the storm to make our grid stronger. Through the dedication of our employees, Co-op Power has never been more reliable. And while the weather is unpredictable, DEC's commitment to doing what's best for our members will never change.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Save thousands on our lineup of electric vehicles during the New Year New Savings Sales event at Boulevard Ford Lincoln of Lewis and Georgetown. Drive in confidence with up to 300 miles in range.
Convenience doesn't stop with your purchase. Our mobile service van brings auto care direct to your doorstep.
So come see us or hop online to see our complete inventory at boulevardauto.com.
So don't miss out on this great sales event at Boulevard Fournier in Georgetown and Lewis.
Remember, cars cost less with Preston.
Are you dreaming of the perfect outdoor space where you can relax and entertain? Look no further than Delmarva's most trusted partner, Spicer Brothers. We pride ourselves on superior craftsmanship and only use the finest materials to create beautiful, durable decks. From classic wooden decks to low-maintenance PVC materials, we have the perfect solution for you. And right now, get a free Green Mountain Grill with your new deck. Plus, enjoy 0% financing with no payments and no interest for 18 months. Spicer Brothers, turning homeowners' dreams into reality for over 20 years.
Monday at 4 on Coast Life. Revamp your style in 2024. Expert tips on decluttering your wardrobe and creating a timeless collection. And learn about unique courses for those over 50. Coast Life Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on Coast TV.
It's time to experience an extraordinary lineup of entertainment at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. Enjoy performances by the Four Phantoms in concert on February 4th, Wheel of Fortune Live on February 29th, The Simon and Garfunkel Story March 18th, and The Price is Right Live on April 1st. The excitement is building, and now it's your turn to be a part of it. Secure your seats at ococean.com/pack and join us for the most amazing season yet. Don't miss out. Come experience the magic of live performances all in one place at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. See you there.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
It's still pretty quiet out the doors. They take a live look out on an Orsted camera in West Ocean City, but conditions are going to quickly deteriorate over the next couple of hours. Right now, seeing southeast winds 12 miles per hour in Ocean City. We're going to be picking up seeing wind gusts over 50, maybe even as high as 60 miles per hour during the overnight hours. Rain moves in by about 8 to 9 p.m. and then we've got heavy rain, strong gusty winds throughout the overnight hours. The good news, though, as we take a look at our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 10-day forecast, is that we actually dry out on Saturday. Temperature-wise, though, it's going to be a pretty chilly day. Yes, 56 is the high. Probably really going to be like 62 at like 1 a.m., but 56 at around 11 a.m., and then those temps fall into the 40s during the afternoon hours. Wind chills fall into the 30s. Snow showers possible on Sunday as an Arctic front moves through, and then take a look at next week. Most days in the 30s for those highs, overnight lows in the teens and 20s, and we have a chance of some wintry weather as we head towards next Tuesday, maybe some accumulating snow, and again as we head towards next Friday, and then we stay cold into the following weekend.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
We're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.